I think this is the best time to tell you that we're going to have so much fun today because, hey, it's Val season. Happy Valentine's Day. If you've not gotten your flowers, candies, and chocolates or whatever, calm down. The day is still young. Or is it? Well, today's episode, oh my goodness, it is fire. I hope I'm not going to scatter anybody's relationships today. That's not what we're here. But I don't know. Maybe by the time you're done listening to this episode, you want to check your relationship again. Is it 50-50? Is it 70-30? In fact, what do you even bring to the table? So many things to unpack today. So make sure you stay right here and join me in today's episode because it's going to be buzzing. Hello, hi, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Beyond the Buzz. I'm your host, Debbie, aka Debs Extra, and today we are going to be getting ourselves into one of the most debated conversations, topics in modern relationships. This idea of 50-50. What does it even mean in today's world? What is it about really? Is it about finances, emotional labor, or something else entirely? And here's a big one. Is this concept even relatable? Now, whether you're single, whether in a relationship, come closer because we need to talk about this. Gone are the days of rigid gender roles. Yes, I am the head of the house. You are the woman. You must listen to me. You must obey me. And that one said, oh, you must provide for me. It's like, it's no longer like, like that. Everybody is becoming something else as needed in relationships nowadays. It's all about partnerships. What does balance actually look like? Especially nowadays, we're exploring who is bringing what to the table. Or even that concept, bringing something to the table. Who even came up with it? What does it even mean? We need to check out whether relationships should truly be split down the middle. Because if you are the provider, what am I doing bringing money to the table again? You've already covered that part. My job is to do something else, clean the house or whatever. Or if I'm a working lady, am I supposed to still bring money to the table? Is your money, our money, that kind of thing? Well, grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever kind of drink that you like for your partner, even for yourself, because today we're going to be getting real about love, fairness, and this modern dance of relationships. Now, this isn't what our forefathers saw when they were, talking about relationships or even marriage. But nowadays, it's something else. Let's start by breaking down what we mean by 50-50. Now, traditionally, relationships were defined by clear-cut roles. Breadwinner, homemaker, and that is that. Nothing more, nothing else. But today it is a little more nuanced. It's a bit more blurred. The lines between homemaker, breadwinner. Some will say 50-50 is about splitting the bills and chores evenly. If I'm cooking, as the guy, you're cleaning. You can't be sitting down, raising your legs on the table, watching sports. No, it has to be 50-50. Matching energy. While others see it as, some sort of emotional investment. What do you think? Well, what does fairness even look like in a relationship? Is it about dividing everything in half or really about giving what you can whenever you can? Like, don't even pressure me. If I'm bringing money for, just take it as it is. I can't do more. I can't clean the house. I'm already bringing money. Or do you say as a woman, in addition to, cleaning the house, I can also bring money to the table? Sometimes one person might carry the entire load financially while the other brings emotional support or other intangibles like maybe waking up to bathe the child, and that could be the man of the house doing just that. But does that still count as 50-50? Now, let's go deeper. What do you bring to the table? I'm sure so many of us have heard this question like 1,000 times. Like, it's so crazy. Even when you are in a talking stage, people are already asking, what do you bring to the table? As if it's an interview question. Hello, am I interviewing for a job? But this question has become a viral one. It's the ultimate relationship litmus test. Like, is it even a fair question? Let's be honest. Is it fair? Anyway, on one hand, it's about understanding what you contribute to a partnership. Financial stability, emotional support, shared goals, aligned values, and all those big grammar. But on the other hand, it's also become a way to pressure people into justifying their worth in a relationship. Some men will entirely cancel a lady because she's not a working class lady, she doesn't have a job, like, she's a liability. But hello, what if she does other things better? What if she's a good cook? What if she's amazing in the outer room? Have you ever thought about that? Or for a guy or a lady canceling a guy saying he doesn't have money. What if he's good with children? Have you thought about that? Those are, character behaviors that you cannot find everywhere. Let's be flexible now. But hey, for some people, it is what it is. There's no changing of anything. 50-50 is 50-50. Now, what do you think? Is it just a way to measure what is a healthy relationship or not? But when you look at it, isn't a healthy relationship about complementing each other rather than competing? Maybe it's less about bringing something to the table, but more about building this table together. If we're going to be carpenters in this work, what is your contribution? Are you bringing nails and bringing hammer? What exactly are we doing here? Now, let's see if we can make a case for 50-50 relationships, because some people are adamant. They're like, nah, it has to be 50-50 or nothing. Now, some will argue that 50-50 is the ideal. After all, fairness is key to a strong partnership, right? Sharing responsibilities equally can prevent resentment, create a sense of teamwork. But thinking about it really, can anyone really divide anything equally? Now, let's imagine a loaf of bread and they ask you to share it between you and maybe your younger one. Do you think somebody will not want to take a bigger one? Even if you measure and you put it together, let's take that agege bread, 200 naira agege bread, they now share it. There will still one person that will take one tiny bit more than the other. Even if you bring ruler, there is still that human factor there. It will never be equal. Let's not lie to ourselves. Sure, splitting bills sounds very straightforward. Okay, we're not splitting bread here, we're splitting bills. It's all about figures. But when you look at it, some people make more money at different times of the year. You can make more money in December, and when it comes to March, April, everything is dry. So what happens next? What about the emotional side of things? Who keeps track of birthdays, anniversaries? Some men are actually better at keeping dates than some women. It's crazy, right? Advocates would say that 50-50 fosters equality, but in reality, not all contributions are measurable. Not all fingers are equal. We all know that. So why are you expecting everything to be exact? Like, if both partners agree on what 50-50 looks like for them, it can absolutely work. Whatever you're calling 50-50 to you might be 70-30 in their own relationship. So does that make their own relationship worse or less than yours? The question is, how do you even define equal in your relationship? Now let's make a case for why that 50-50 might not stand. On the flip side, some will say relationships shouldn't be 50-50, that life isn't that simple. One partner might be in a better position to give more, whether that's financially, emotionally, or in other ways. Some women would have to actually tell you damn right, as a man, you can't born now, you can't give birth. So what 50-50 are you talking about? Can you born? And some men will say, without me, giving you my sperm, you won't even be pregnant in the first place. See that it all takes teamwork. So why this 50-50 might not work is a case that we need to really talk about. Now think about it. What happens when one person loses their job? What happens? The economy is not smiling anywhere. Some will say T-Pain. T-Pain is not just Nigerian thing. Look, economy is not smiling anywhere in the world. So what happens if that man comes home, he's lost his job, or he's facing a burnout, he just can't keep up with the pressures of life? Are you going to tell me that he's completely useless as a man? Come on now. He will have other redeeming qualities. After all, you fell in love with him. It can't just be the money. So there are other things that you might want to look at. Now, do you keep splitting things down the middle no matter what? Let's also look at the idea of flexibility, not balance. Critics of 50-50 might say that is actually key to a healthy relationship. A successful partnership isn't about keeping score. Oh, now me do this one, now you do this one. It's about supporting each other through the ebbs and flows of life. And we all know that life can happen to anyone at any freaking, pardon my French, freaking time. Let's see if we can meet in the middle. People that fought 50-50 or against 50-50, let's see if we can all come right there to the middle. So if 50-50 isn't always realistic, what is the alternative? Now, many believe in striving for balance rather than strict equality because, let's be honest, life can change for anybody. They say no condition is permanent. That's what it is. Nothing can remain the same forever. Your 50-50 can change in an instant and turn to 100-0. What are you going to do? It's about understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses and creating a dynamic that works for both of you. Find a formula that works. I remember back in school, Almighty formula cannot work for every solution. Find X, you can't. It's not Almighty formula that will work. You will have to use another, any other formula. It's been a while since I did mathematics, so pardon me if the only thing I can remember right now is Almighty formula. But anyway, let's go back to the conversation. Maybe one partner takes on more financial responsibility while the other handles household management. I know that looks very strange, but it's not that deep. What is wrong with a man grabbing a broom? Hey, it's not in my culture. Walai, it will be in your culture. It will forever be there because you can't expect her to only be the one in the kitchen. And if something happens, she's now the same one bringing money to the table, same one taking the kids to the school, same one, you want to kill her. You enter the kitchen, you will grab that broom and sweep. If you know that you want that relationship to work, you will do whatever it takes to make it work, okay? Because it all depends on life's demands. The goal isn't perfection. Stop comparing your relationship to other people and saying it's not looking like what, Bossy and Olu are going through. No. It's about what you are going through, what is unique to you and your girlfriend or your wife. The best relationship involves with each partner contributing in ways that reflect their abilities and circumstances. Hello, am I talking to anyone there? Because that's what we call teamwork. Now let's bring it on. Should relationships be 50-50 or are we going to throw it under the table or under the carpet or just throw it in the trash can? Because the truth is, every relationship is unique. For some, 50-50 makes sense, okay? But for others, it is restrictive. Now, what matters more or most is communication. Because if both partners feel valued and understood, it doesn't matter if the split is actually 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, or whatever it's looking like for you. What do you think? Is fairness about equality or is it about adapting to each other's needs? It's about looking at what is happening in your relationship and working with whatever is happening. Because two of you are together. It's a teamwork. It's a partnership. You have to make it happen. You have to make it work. And that is it for today's episode of Beyond the Buzz. I wish you guys the best and I hope that your relationship will flourish and thrive because that's why we're here, to celebrate love and make sure that we're all in this together. We've unpacked the idea of 50-50 relationships, for what it means to how it plays out in real life. What is happening in your own relationship? What's your take? Well, let's see if you can bring whatever is happening to your relationship to the comment section. Let's talk about it. We don't judge here. We listen and we, celebrate ourselves. We celebrate love. So feel free to drop a comment. Nobody's going to judge you. We're all going to, be there trying to express our thoughts on what is happening with this concept of 50-50. So hit us up on social media with your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and let's engage. And don't forget to subscribe. Share this episode with a friend, a loved one, whoever you think needs to listen to what this episode is about. And make sure to join us next week for another deep dive into life's hottest topics. Until then, keep building that table, whatever that looks like for you.